What up, guys? Beats1 coming at you with a little informational video. You ever do your brakes and about a month later you start hearing them squealing again, like if you never did your brakes before? Well, I'm gonna show you a possible reason why that's happening to you guys. This is I'm working on a Chevy Blazer 95. Did a couple jobs on this already. Dropped the fuel tank, did some suspension work. So this car's in pretty good shape. Well, I did this car's brakes about I don't know, maybe 2 months ago when it was still nice outside. Brand new rotors, brand new brakes, and everything was rolling perfect. And then I get a call saying that the owner of the car, hears the brakes again on one side harder than the other, and she couldn't possibly think it was the brakes. So I test drove it, and it really sounded like shitty, like shot already brakes. So I took the car apart. I'm making the video inside because it's pretty windy out today. So yeah, so you can hear the grinding of the rotor, like real bad. So when I finally was able to take off the brakes, look at that. You guys can see that shit? That's fucking horrible right there. Where's the pad? Like, it's gone. If you can, as you can see, it already started to eat away inside it to where they're drilled originally through the back. Look at that. Done. Rotor. Look at the rotor too. This is just one side, the inner side. Well, I can't give you a good visual, but it's pretty dug in there pretty good. Like once your rotor starts looking like that, yeah, time to change it. This one was almost digging into it. If you were here and you would put your fingers alongside the rotor, you can feel it, like it's really beat up. So I was trying to figure out why that was happening. But the strangest thing is that this is one pad all fucked up. But look at the other one. Almost perfect condition. Almost brand new how I installed it the first time. So it's fucking sick. So you know, obviously this side of the rotor's shot. This side is not too bad. Nice and smooth. This one, if you feel it, just feels all kinds of fucked up. So, you know, I was trying to figure out what it actually could be causing just one brake pad on one side to go bad and almost destroy the pad and the rotor. So basically, if you're driving and you just did your brakes, or maybe you didn't do your brakes either, but this is a good sign to tell that you need brakes. If you start hitting the brake, applying brake, and the car pulls to one side, naturally, maybe that side, it's possible that you have a malfunctioning caliper. What the caliper does is hydraulically pumps out so the brake pads can apply pressure to the rotor, stopping your vehicle. When I was checking everything on this car, I started to realize that the caliper itself, the caliper piston, which pushes out and pushes in, was just pushed in completely. I couldn't move the rotor. I couldn't do anything. Usually when the car's up, you can move it all freely. I couldn't even move it. So that told me that I have a stuck piston in the caliper. So here's the caliper. Here's the old one. I know I got a little grease on it from the... But if you can see, this is the part that was stuck. Now, if you can see the rubber booting all around, it's went through some bullshit. So it's possible maybe that rubber part in there got stuck and wasn't able to push the piston back in while driving. So basically what she was doing is she would apply pressure, this piston would come all the way out and stay there. When she would release the brake, it wouldn't go back, it would stay there. So basically she's been driving with her brake applied on this side of the piston for like the longest. It could, I don't know how long, but you know, she got it to the point where she started hearing things. So sometimes it's always good to replace these calipers because they can get stuck and all corroded. I've seen people take out the pistons and try to clean it up and smooth it to make it good, but honestly, I mean, if you're gonna try to do work like that, you might as well get a new caliper. So you know, this is where the this is where the line for the brake fluid comes in through. It's the bleeder, you know, your standard shit. But you can see the piston here is like, you know, one way to check is if you put, you know, put the brake back on it, seat clamp it. If it's very difficult to push this piston back, then it's shot. It's stuck and it's corroded and all kinds of nasty shit can happen. Another way to check to know ahead of if your caliper is stuck, it's gonna make your tires smell. You're gonna smell burning, and you could be able to even touch it a little bit and feel some heat. It's the metal and metal friction happening. So because the piston is applying the pressure and you're driving, so you basically, it's like driving with the e-brake on. You're just gonna screw it up. So I'm gonna take you outside real quick. It's pretty windy, so bear with me. 95 Chevy Blazer. It's windy now. I'll get up. As you can see, I took the caliper off already. Where is it? Here's the brake line. And just so you guys can see, here's the line continuing. Now I put a nice little piece of rag on top because I gripped it with some vice grips. This way, you know, no fluid, no air is going in and out while I'm removing the fluid. So this time I can just plug it back in, release this. It's always good to have something rubber or something to not exactly have the teeth on it, because you don't want the teeth to penetrate through these things. Because next thing you know, you got to change that whole brake line. So you don't want to do that. So, but keep in mind, a brake line is a reason why it's one reason why your calipers can malfunction. They could be clogged and, you know, not releasing the pressure or giving in the pressure. So you know, I'm gonna get to it. Got new brakes, new rotor. Whoa, son of a runaway caliper. Got a brand new caliper. You can see the conditions of that one compared to this old one that we have here. So it's you know, I'm not gonna show you all the work. I'm just showing you possible malfunction that you might have when it comes to your brake system. And in this case, it's a bad caliper. Usually it's recommended you change one, you change both sides. But sometimes it's a budget. You know, these things are about 50-60 bucks. So we're gonna see what happens. But I recommend you do something to one side of the car, do it to the other, especially if there's like a brake system, because you want everything. I mean, one can go bad, the other one can just be going, or you're gonna have that's like walking around with one brand new shoe and the other one like 4 years old. Like, you don't do that. So just letting you guys know, if your rotor is eating away at one pad only, see that one pad, rotor is completely screwed. I can literally put my finger in here. Like, you guys can't see it. You might have a stuck caliper. So, you know, I hope this gives you an idea of what a stuck caliper does, or, you know, any symptoms of it. So, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna get into doing it all the job because it's windy and it's difficult. So, guys, have any questions? You already know. Just leave it, and I'll try to help you out as much as possible. Deuces.